happening. Hey everyone, I'm excited. It's Carl here, and I got Connie and I got Jasmine with me here, and once again outnumbered 2-1. But we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll balance out. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll get worse. But but you know what? We're going to talk about quite a few things today. Yesterday, and we're going to get feedback from everybody on here. Who just joined us here? Oh, Dr. Herman, how are you?
Hey, Carl. Good.
Hey, Herman.
So we're going to talk about what happened last night. We had a team mastermind, and it was really exciting to me because I do a lot of videos, and you know, I do 1 to 3 videos a day. And when John Oakes did this training last night, it actually blew my mind because the stuff that he shared with me had me realizing why my views were so low, and it was because of the few things that he did. Now, am I going to share that on here? No, I'm not, actually. I'm going to tease you a little bit about it because I'll tell you why. There's another gentleman also by the name of John, actually spelt the same as John Oakes, but his name is John Penberthy. Okay, and he. I'm not sure if he's still with Empower, but he was with Empower for the first couple of years. I know he's off doing and creating his own products and stuff like that, like YouTube Mastery and stuff. And he's become one of the well-known YouTube authorities out there, right? Oh, hang on, just there. So he's become one of the authorities out there, and I've been following John for quite a few years on what he does. And, you know, for what was shared last night on the call by John Oakes is John Penberthy actually charges close to $2,000 for that same information, which is quite amazing. Somebody wants me. They want to buy some product. See, they're phoning. So, so what we're going to cover today is just some of the things that you need to do on social media. I'm not going to get into full meat and potatoes on that because there is a reason behind that, and you'll find out why as we go through this. So what I want to do now is I actually want to bring the panelists on. We've got Connie, Dr. Herman, and Jasmine with us here today. So let's start, Dr. Herman. We're going to start with the ladies, and we're going to work over to you. Okay. So we'll start with Connie. And Connie, why don't you come on and let everybody know just how impactful last night was.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Connie. I'm truthfully, I mean, last night I was speechless. You know, like halfway through what John was teaching us on this training was, I mean, I didn't realize he was going to cover so much that I didn't already know, right? Because I've been doing this since last year, since I started last summer, and I'm thinking I'm doing all the right things, and then he covers things that I just didn't even think of, like in free strategies at that. That's what was like mind-blowing to me. I was just like speechless. And then when he continued on, after I thought he was going to be finished, I was like, oh my God, there's more? Like, what is the world coming to? Like, we're about to just really just dominate the internet, right, with all of this information. I mean, it was just so awesome, Carl. I mean, I was really pumped up after last night's training, and just the thought of the fact that the training itself was offered for free. I mean, that, like you said, I mean, that was like more than $2,000 worth of training, right? I mean, that training should not have been free, period. I mean, the stuff that we learned is going to help us to dominate, and to get that type of information should not be offered for free. So it's amazing that it was offered to our team for free, and that anybody we bring into our team will get that same information for free, right? So it was amazing. It was amazing.
I'll tell you this, because I have bought probably $100,000 worth of training over my career. Okay, I buy a lot of it. I take a lot of it. And, just last night what John shared was exactly how you thought. I was surprised that came out as a free training to us. And the one thing that I am thankful of is that it's exclusive to us. Okay,
Right.
we have it exclusive in our own training site. So if you want access to something like that, it's going to come at a cost. I'll be honest with you out there, everyone. It's going to come at a cost, but not at a cost of $5,000 or $3,000.
Right.
Okay, I guess maybe gradually it will. Okay, at some point in time, but you know, you can get access to this for an actual real below reasonable amount of money.
Right.
Okay, just to get access to this.
Right.
Okay, and we're going to talk about that at the end.
Yeah,
okay?
Carl, just, you know, what I paid to get access to be a part of this team, Carl,
Yep.
was not even worth it. Like, I should have paid triple, right?
I'll be absolutely honest with you. You should have, and we all should have. You
Right.
know, I mean, you know, I've bought all the products in Empower Network. So, you know, but to me, that money I spent, I spent $5,125. Okay. Now this is me because I invest in myself and become a product of the product. But I've gone on to make 6 figures with that education. Now, not all of it's been with Empower Network, but I've done it in other businesses. Okay, using that same training that I learned here, because I bought it, I own it, so I go back and I reviewed it all the time. Now, what we have in our team, I mean, the YouTube thing that I shared last night, just that alone,
Right.
you know, is worth, in my opinion, that's easily a $2,000 training package. But
Right.
on top of that, back there, we've got Facebook training, and we've got Instagram training, and there's more of it to come, and all that's free with our team. You package all that up, and I'm telling you, any guru out there or any known authority trainer out there, that's a $5,000 package just for those 3 trainings. Okay? Now, some people might say, oh, you know, Carl, you're just making numbers out of here. I'm telling you, I'm not. Okay? If you want, go research what the average guy charges for his individual training that's out there. Okay? I personally, if someone wants to take me away from my business and they want me to coach them, I'm $250 an hour. That's what it is.
Nice.
Okay? Here's my PayPal. There you go. When I see it there, we start the first hour. You want me more? Here's my PayPal. Okay? That's how I work. Because if you're going to take me away from my business, you're going to pay me for it. Okay? So, you know, I have a simple thing that I tell people out there. You know, because people come to me for coaching all the time. And I tell them, you've got 2 choices. You can go here and register, okay, and get me at your beck and call, basically, okay, when you're part of my team, or here's my PayPal, and it's $250 an hour. You choose.
Right.
Okay? And believe it or not, I've had one person say, okay, here, give me your PayPal, right? Okay, no problem. I'm not going to refuse that. Okay, but this is the thing I have to tell you, and there isn't a trainer anywhere out there that can actually give you enough knowledge in 1 hour. It's impossible. Okay, we can help train you on one specific thing in an hour, because an hour goes like that.
Right.
Okay, so you know, when I tell people that. You've probably seen some of my stuff out there, and I actually talked about it on Tuesday, how it says, you know what, for $7, you can come in and you can pick my brain for 14 days, okay? And I'll coach the crap out of you for whatever I can for 14 days. And if I don't deliver, then you can walk away. And if that $7 really meant that much to you, get a refund, right? If you don't think I deliver. But if you think I deliver, then this is the next stage you're going to. Okay, and that's where you're going to make a decision. So, you know, this is what we talked about on Tuesday about how to deliver value to people, right? Now, what we're going to be talking about today is the use of social media to build your list and your traffic. So, before I get into that, I want to still get over to Jasmine and Dr. Herman. So, Jasmine, were you on the call last night? I'm not sure if you were working or not.
Unfortunately, I was not. Every Wednesday night. Can you hear me?
Did you review it yet?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you guys could hear me or not. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I got home a little late last night. But this afternoon I would definitely have a chance. This is the only day off I get, but I would definitely have a chance to review it tonight.
Okay. Okay, well, because you haven't reviewed it, I want to just get the results from last night. Dr. Herman, you were on the call last night, right?
Yes, I was there, man.
So let's get your feedback. Let's get your feedback on that.
It was absolutely awesome, man. Now, like you, I have the unstoppable dream, and I had looked at the same information with the other John.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It's good, but this was better.
Right.
And I'm just grateful for the heart of John and of the leaders that we have, you know, the kind of spirit that is within them, and the levels of expertise, man. It was absolutely off the chart. I really like it. Now, I'm at this place now where my primary focus, and perhaps we will, it sounds like you're going to maybe cover it later. My primary focus is Twitter, and I kind of stopped doing the videos, and that's just me. I stopped doing the videos because having gone with the other Johns and saw the way in which he was doing it, that if you were to simply focus on that strategy alone, man, and then couple with what John did on last night, to focus on just that strategy would be awesome. Now, even as awesome as it was, I'm still going to have to put it over to the side for a moment until I get the kind of traction that I want with the Twitter. Okay? Because the Twitter training was good as well. And as you also may know, if you have the Unstoppable Dream, there is some Twitter training in there. Okay, so I'm trying to implement that and get the kind of traction that I need, the kind of results that I need with that before I kind of branch into something else. But I find it also awesome that we have access to this kind of training, man. And
Absolutely.
these kind of guys that provide this kind of training, and yourself included. I appreciate you, man. My schedule is of such that I can't get to you as often as I would like to, but I appreciate you too, man. You're a great dude, and just the people on our team, I just love them, man. I love all of them. They bring a freshness and a caring and a heart to just what we're trying to do, not only for ourselves, but also for others. That just keeps me engaged. Maybe not as much as I will be, but I just love it, man. I love it. That's basically it.
And here's what's really cool. Like, if none of you guys have been to an event before, okay, that's where everything happens. I mean, you get there, you're taking your pictures, you're doing videos, you're interviewing people, everything happens. That is like the most impactful mastermind you will ever get involved in. Okay, and that's the exciting part, that I'm going to get to meet all you guys there. You know, hopefully you don't get tired of me after 15 minutes, right? Because I can be a handful, right? So, but you know, it's going to be a lot of fun, and you know what? We're going to be able to mastermind about all of these different things. Now, the one thing that I absolutely love about what John shared last night is the fact that, you know, YouTube fits into everything that we do. Okay? It fits into our Facebook. It fits into our blogging. It fits into Twitter. It fits into all social media. Okay?
Right.
You know, and the one thing, and Jasmine actually figured this out last night, is every single social media, when you set them up, they automatically have the share in there for sharing with other social medias.
Right.
Okay? So when you do have that in there, there's some things that you know, you want to be cautioned of, because if you're doing multiple social medias, okay, here's what can happen, and Jasmine experienced this. By default, Facebook will automatically check Twitter and Google Plus, and I think LinkedIn. I have to double check what they are. But anytime you hook up any of those to Facebook, it automatically checkboxes them. Okay? Now, it's the same thing when you go to those social medias. They'll automatically checkbox the other ones. So, if you notice on our blog how it's got Facebook, Google, Pinterest, Twitter, and whatever else that you can share with, well, here's what happens, okay? And you've got to be very careful of this. When you share to Facebook, it's automatically going to as soon as you share it there, it's going to post it on whatever it's checked to. So it's going to post it to Twitter, it's going to post it to Google Plus, whatever. So you go ahead and you do that. And then you go to Google Plus, you click on that, it's going to share it to Facebook, it's going to share it to Twitter, and whatever. So now you've got mass posting that's happening, and unfortunately, what that is you're spamming the social media. So what you have to be very, very cautious about is if you're going to work one specific social network, and that's recommended until you get really, really good at it, and then bring on a second one. Okay, we've talked about that in our team consistency trainings and our masterminds. You know, until you know how to juggle social media, I've been doing that for years, so I'm able to multitask with them because I know how to do it. But most people don't. Okay, so the cautionary thing here is this: you work one social media, but you use your blog as a advantage point. The thing that you have to be careful of, though, is when you're doing that, you pick your one social media, and you make sure that you have all the boxes checked to wherever you want that to post when you're posting, and you go to all the other social medias that you have that checked to and uncheck them. Okay? So you don't end up posting 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row, because that will happen, and this is what Jasmine experienced the other day, right? So you don't want to be doing that, because what will happen is the social media will give you leniency for 3 or 4 posts. After that, they're going to come and start slapping you. Okay? They're going to say, okay, either you're doing this on purpose or you're an idiot, one or the other, right? So that's basically how they think, right? Because you got to remember, everybody that runs social media sites and that, they're geeks. Okay? So they just assume everybody knows what they know, right? So it's just like in Facebook. Like Facebook they just did another major algorithm change again, okay? Now, this algorithm is going to affect a lot of people who are actually posting in groups, okay? What has happened now is Facebook has implemented an algorithm that goes on, how do I explain that? It goes on random posting, okay? So if you start posting to more than 9 groups a day, this is what we figured it out, to 9 groups a day, Facebook is going to flag you. So if you go 9 posts today, 13 posts tomorrow, 9 posts the next day, whatever, next thing you know, you're going to find these bars in front of you, okay? And you're going to be stuck only on your timeline. They're going to slap you into Facebook jail, and you're going to stay there for 2 weeks. If it's your second offense, 1 month. If it's your third offense, 3 months. If it's your fourth offense, you're banned completely from Facebook. Okay? So you need to be very, very cautious with that. Now, the other rumor I heard about an algorithm coming in is that Facebook is going to start mapping and algorithming IP addresses. If that happens and you get banned from Facebook, you'll never be able to get in through that IP address again into Facebook. Okay? So be very, very cautious on that. I don't know why they're doing this kind of crap, but you know what? I can understand, because they're trying to keep the group spammers away, I guess, so to speak. Like I use a software that allows me to post in groups. Now I'm limited to Facebook. I got to be very cautious with it, right? But what that did, it allowed me to get my message out in front of the masses, and I used it ethically, where there's a lot of other marketers that don't use it ethically. Okay? And when I talk about ethically, is the rules and regulations of posting in groups is that you post once every 48 hours into a group. Not once every 24, once every 48, because most group owners, they have specific regulations within their own group. Only 1 post a day, or maybe 1 post every 2 days. So to stay within the limits and within regulation, you post once every 24 hours in those, or 48 hours in those groups. Okay, makes sense, right? Now, what was happening is there's people using these group posters that are going in there and mass posting 5-6 times a day. They're spamming the groups, and this is what's caused all of this algorithm change stuff that's going on there, because Facebook is seeing a fluctuation of posting within their groups, and they're going through them and they're saying, wait, there's something wacky going on here. They know all about group posters out there. Now they're seeing that people are abusing that kind of thing. So they've put these things in place to basically protect us, from getting smoked with all this spam and stuff. So, I understand all that kind of stuff. These posters, they're actually good softwares if you're ethical with it, because it helps build your list. It helps build your traffic. I've made tens of thousands of dollars using group posters for my businesses or my affiliate products or whatever it is that I'm marketing. Okay, because I do other things other than Empower Network. Empower Network is my primary business, and always will be, because I'm an education type of guy, and I want to make sure that anybody I bring in is educated, because this is why the failure rate is so high online, is that people are not getting educated on how to market their businesses online. Okay, and that's cut and dry, the whole thing about it. This is probably a topic for another day, so we're not going to get into that. But why people fail and stuff. But the whole idea is that a lot of them are not committed to themselves to go forward and build a business. If you're not committed to yourself, you're not a product of your product, that sort of thing, then you fall into that little realm, I guess, whatever you want to call it, and it's not a good place, because that's going to make you the most miserable person on the planet. You can go for the angriest person on the planet. You can actually qualify for that, okay? Because that's what happens to people when they get there. They get very, very angry, right? So the whole idea of what we need to do, and I need to bring this up. I did a blog post on it today, so I'm just going to bring up my blog so I can share this with you guys today. Just going to go over just some of these core ideas that I covered in there, or the core 10 top things you need to do. Okay? So on my blog, we've got the 10 top tips. Okay? Okay, the first one is timing. Now, I've learned this from other people online, okay, and I've implemented it into my own business practices, okay? And these are just 10 tips on what you need to focus on. Now, the real cool thing is that John showed us how to do it in 4 steps last night, which is, it cuts out a lot of this. But a lot of this has to deal in general with things. All of this stuff gets compressed into those 4 steps. Okay, but timing is one. You want to research, when is the best time to be doing posts. Okay, now, I have found a few different times a day which are really, really potent and good for timing for doing it. And, I wrote here at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's an overall view. But if you do it between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., okay, and this is Monday to Friday, okay, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., and then again from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., and then again from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Those are your 3 main impactful times to hit people, okay? So, because believe it or not, people think that, when people are on their lunch hours, that's when they go and they look for things. No, it's not, because people won't use up their lunch hour time to do that. So when do they do it? They get on their phones or whatever right after they get back from lunch, and that's when they start doing it. Okay? And it's funny to think about that, but nobody actually wants to use their own personal time to look for other things to do. They rather use somebody else's time, right? So the other thing is the education, okay? Share your knowledge of techniques and strategies when you're doing your posting online. This is the stuff that's going to encourage engagement. John talked about that. Okay? If you know what John does, he does a lot of his how-to videos and stuff. And most of the guys, even John Pemberth, he does that. You got Mike Dillard who does that kind of stuff. You got Mike Tilsame who does that. Russell Brunson. All these guys that are very successful online, they are all doing how-to. They're providing high-end value to their readers, and that's what's building their following and their traffic. Okay? Offers and deals. This is another thing. Offer incentives. With us in Empower Network, we have a $1,000 bonus that we can offer to anybody. If they wanted to come in, they could save $1,000 off our products. Okay? But they have a time period to do that. It's still a bonus. I also do get one-on-one coaching. So you can throw anything into the loop, whatever that you think that you can provide. Maybe you've got some special tips on certain marketing that you do that could help people. Okay? Maybe certain Facebook methods or something somebody hasn't heard of. You could share that. That could be an incentive to come on board with you. Okay? Conversation. Engaging with your followers and your commenters. Very important that when people are liking your posts, sharing your posts, commenting on your posts, you go in and engage with them. Every time somebody likes one of my posts, I will go and I will text a message for them and say, hey, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you liking my post today. I hope it was entertaining or thoughtful or whatever it is that helped you out with whatever situation. I'll write something like that, but I always send a thank you for them liking my post, and I always get engagement back. Same thing with the comments. Thanks for commenting. I really appreciate that. You know, interact with them on there. The sharing. Hey, I really appreciate the share. You know what? I'll reciprocate back with you. Let me know what your site is or whatever, and I'll do the same thing. Whatever, you know, reciprocate back. This builds a very strong following, and when you get a following, people start watching you from day to day. And when they start watching from you, they become a list. Okay? And then when they start sharing, it goes viral. And that's where all the traffic starts flowing in. Okay? You want to stay current. Stay on current things that are on the now. Don't talk about things that happened 3 years ago. Don't give advice on different marketing techniques that are 6 months old. Okay? Keep current on everything you do, and that's going to allow more engagement, more people driven to your site, because this is what they're looking for. They're not looking for old stuff that doesn't work anymore. They're looking for stuff that's happening right at the now. Okay? Make sense? Hashtags. Okay? And I'm actually guilty of the hashtag thing. I'm just getting better at it now. But hashtags are becoming more and more popular now. Instagram is blowing up like crazy because it's all based on hashtags. Twitter started the whole thing, and now you know, all the other social medias are starting to get on it. You're starting to see it on LinkedIn, on Pinterest, on Facebook. Okay, you're seeing all of them coming up. But Twitter started the whole hashtag thing, and then Instagram became a major platform because of hashtagging. Okay, so you know, if you don't have an Instagram account, I would highly recommend you get on it now. Okay, because that is the up and coming giant that's coming. Okay, now infographics. Okay, here we're talking about information graphics. Okay, when you're doing posts, make sure you always have a picture related to whatever you're talking about. Okay, if you're going to do an inspirational post, make sure you got an inspirational picture. You get guys like Justin Varengia and Alex Zubrev is starting to do that now. You'll see that he's putting inspirational quotes on top of his own personal pictures. Okay, so he's self-branding with inspiration from other people. Okay, very powerful doing that kind of stuff. Okay, so think about the infographics part of things. Mobile, okay, with us, fortunately, our stuff is all mobile friendly, but maybe you're with a company that isn't mobile friendly. You need to find a way or a platform that can help you market your product on a mobile platform, because right now mobile is becoming almost 60% of all the traffic that's out there. Might be a little bit higher than that. Okay, and you know, be ready and be you, like be friendly on everything you're doing. don't be an aggressive person on social media. I know I learned that lesson by being a little bit too, I don't want to say arrogant, but I had my moments. I think everybody has, right? You can't go out there thinking that you're better than anybody else and you know that you're better than anybody else or anything like that. You want to share knowledge openly and freely, okay? That's going to make you a lot more attractive than somebody who is an aggressor. Okay, hope that makes sense. And last and not least, the most important thing that you've got to do is you've got to have good content all the time. Your content. And the better thing that you can do is flow your content like a story. I try to do, when I do my stuff, I try to make it as part of my journey to where I'm going. Okay? So if you can do that, that means you're telling a story. David Wood talks about this all the time. Talk about your journey all the time. Justin Varengia talks about it all the time too. Talk about your journey. And when you talk about your journey and that sort of stuff, that's when you end up getting a good following. It's almost like them coming and watching episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, episode 5 of your life, right? This is how your following starts beginning. It's like, you know, reading the chapters of a book. So hopefully this kind of gives you some idea of where you need to go in all of your marketing when you're doing your marketing out there. And I'm not going to go into a lot of the details that we learned last night because that is confidential to us. You want that, you want to tap into that, then you get back to whoever brought you to this hangout here today. Whoever that was. It could be one of the panelists, it could be somebody that's sitting beside you as you're watching this thing, whoever it might be. Maybe it's your buddy who's at work and said, hey, go watch this thing. Okay? Get back to them. There's a reason they sent you here. Okay? We've got some of the best educators in this industry in our team. I'm telling you. And I will get up on a platform and yell to the world and tell them that we have that. Okay? I'm so highly impressed with Alex Zubrev, Michael Martin, and John Oakes for stepping up and doing what they do. Okay? I've been fortunate enough to meet 2 of the 3. I haven't met John yet, but John's getting a beer from me just for after what he did last night. So I'll be sitting down buying him a beer or 2 when we get to Nashville for sure. Okay? Because I am so thankful for what he shared with me yesterday. You know, I've been fortunate enough. I met Michael Martin and Alex, who's my sponsor, my personal sponsor. I met him and Anna, and we hung out there a little bit in Denver there a couple of years ago. But these kind of things, guys, is what's going to really take your game to the next level. But the biggest thing is the consistency, okay? You can't just do it a couple of times a week, because here's what happens. I've just had people recently just come in and register with me after watching me for 3.5 months, okay? Here's what people do now today. Because people tend to jump so frequently from program to program, people are now watching to see how long you are and how consistent you are in what you're doing before they make a move. Because I don't know about you, but the last thing I want to do is go, hey, you know what, I'm going to go and join you. So you join you, and the next thing you know, they're gone. They're already doing something else tomorrow. And it's like, oh, well, holy crap. That's happened to me a gazillion times. And I'm sure it's happened to pretty much everybody else here. Okay? I can honestly say that Empower Network, Alex Zubrev, is the very first sponsor that I've had who never left me for something else. I actually left him, but I came back, right? So, but you know, I've never had a sponsor really that, other than maybe my other buddy Dan, but you know, that never stayed with me. They always left, and then they pitched me on their other deal. And it's like, why would I go there? You couldn't even stay in this one, right? So let's open it up to you guys. Any comments on what I just covered here? It's open to whoever.
Ladies?
I mean, it was very thorough, Carl. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, right? And breaking the steps down like that for everyone, it, you know, gives them a clear pathway to take, you know, especially for the new person who's just now getting into the online industry, or considering to, you know, doesn't understand how to leverage social media to get the results, right? So those are the basics that they needed to know, and, you know, to get started. And now the next thing to understand and know for them would be, how does each individual social media network work, right? And like you said, that's leverage information that they can get when they're inside with us. But yes, definitely important information.
Yeah. Well, even those 10 steps I broke down. I mean, those, you know, some people might say, oh, there's 10 steps I got to do. Well, actually, no, it's actually one step.
Right.
It's just, I just broke it down into 10 different things that you need to do within that. Everything that I just shared with you there is all part of one post that you do.
Right.
That post could take you 3 minutes. That video could take you 3 minutes. But all 10 of those things I pointed out are part of what that 3 or 5 minute post or video does.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
So, anybody else want to comment?
I totally agree with what was said. In addition to that, the principles can be applied in any particular social media that you choose to go into.
Exactly. You know, that's just a basic overview of information you need to do in whatever it is that you're doing online, whatever information you're sharing on whatever platform, right?
Yes, exactly. Good information. Good stuff.
Excellent. Jasmine, anything you want to add?
No comment this time.
Nothing this time? Okay. I guess I'm doing okay then, so far.
I like to, sometimes I just maintain in the background. I like to listen and just let things kind of, you know, soak in.
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way too, kinda. Although Michael Martin and John Oakes and Alex might say differently, but I always got something extra to add to something, right? But you know, I just appreciate you guys coming on here with me, you know, a couple of times a week and stuff like that to share this. I like to share my knowledge. I like to share what I know, but I also like to absorb what other people do. Right? This is a full learning circuit for all of us, right? You know, this is why I go to the masterminds. This is why I go to the Monday night Empower hours, and I go to the all accesses on Thursday night. I mean, you know, literally, as marketers, we're working 7 days a week, okay, in some aspect, okay. It's not that we're working 8 hours a day. Some of us do, some of us don't. You know, personally, I'm done everything I need to do in about the first hour and a half of my day, okay? I can literally walk away and let everything just work its way at that point. But as a leader, I am there to help support my team in any aspect. I work this like a full-time job, although I don't play the full-time role, if you know what I mean. You know, I'm here, like, you know, I'll be honest with you guys. You know, some days I'll be downstairs sitting on my, you know, in my entertainment center, right? And I'll be playing, you know, PS3 on my 55-inch TV, and that's what I do. I'll sit there and I'll play for 3 hours. I'm a gamer at heart, you know, or I'll be online and I play World of Warcraft. So I'll be on it. I'm 53 years old and I play World of Warcraft with freaking 10-year-olds and 16-year-olds. Okay, I do that. But I have fun. That's what. But you know what? I can do that, right? Because I can still go out. You know, by the time I woke up this morning, I got a phone call at 10 to 5 this morning where somebody just bought some product from me, and I made $200 before 5 o'clock this morning, right? Yeah. So, you know, at that point, I didn't have to work the rest of the day. I did my quota for the day that I wanted to do, right? You know, and I made another sale just before this. So, you know, I can do whatever I want during the day, but that's because I'm here. You know, I've got people that listen to this thing here, and they're going, geez, I wish I could be there, and they're smoking their desk in their cubicle saying, man, he gets to sit at home all day, and I got to sit in this 4-square block thing, right? So, you know, you get that. I used to be there, and I'm sure some of you guys were there too. I was a cubicle sitter for years.
Yeah, you reminded me this morning. It's so funny. I told myself, because I've been staying up late working on my computer a couple of nights in a row, and I told myself I was going to sleep in this morning. Well, I got woken up by a text message, you know, from our company telling me you've just been paid.
Ah, there you go.
That made me jump right up and get back to work, because I was like, okay, I just, you know, want to put some zeros behind that, a couple extra zeros behind that next text that I get, right? So I'm going to really get up now and get some more work done.
Yeah. See, I like those notifications. I got the same.
I love it. Love it.
You know, because it's funny, because I was up till 1:30 this morning playing World of Warcraft. Okay? And then I went to bed, and then at 4:50 this morning, I got woke up by a phone call from someone in New Zealand saying, hey, I just bought this stuff from you. You know, I just wanted to introduce myself. Oh, okay. So I'm half there, right? So, but you know, this is the beauty part, that we can do this. And if I'm tired, I can just go and sleep if I want to. You know, my bed's like 12 feet away from here. Right? I can just go and crash on my bed if I want to. Everybody else has to try and keep awake. They're doing the head nod at work, right?
Yeah. Speaking of New Zealand, the person that sponsored me when I came in, he's from Finland. So he is sleeping right now.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah, it's amazing the connections that we have together here in our company, because it's like everyone, they're from all parts of the world. I love that, and then but we're all on the same mission and, you know, a part of the same family. I love it. I love it.
Well, I've got people in my organization that go over 137 countries. You know, from people that are on my list everywhere that I communicate with. You know, from my Skype to my, you know, my autoresponder to my Facebook and all the other kind of stuff. And it's cool because I connect with a lot of these people, you know, throughout the month and stuff. So that's what's amazing.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you guys want me to cover while we're on here?
Yes, I have a question. Is within the Empower Network back office, do we have any type of ebooks or any giveaways that we can give in exchange for people giving their emails? Like when we are, let's say I'm posting on Twitter, and you know I want to offer, you know how it goes. You want to give something in exchange for the email. Is there anything that we have within the Empower Networks family that will make that?
You know, not that I know of, and you know, here's my take on stuff like that. First of all, ebooks go outdated after about 30 days. Okay, the lifespan of them are not. It's just like a book. You know, I mean, I'm not going to get into specifics on certain books, but you know, there are techniques that are out there that people keep giving all these things. Like, you know, this is how you can, and the thing is so outdated it doesn't even work anymore. So this is my advice to you. Okay, my advice: if you want to give something of value, give them you. Okay, offer them a couple of coaching sessions with you. Offer them a way for them to plug into certain things. I don't care. Plug them into some of my trainings or whatever. I don't care. Doesn't matter. If you want to offer something of value, offer them something that's current. Okay? I used to give away ebooks, and then when I started looking at some of the ebooks I was giving away, I was thinking, man, I'm going to look like an idiot because none of that stuff works anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, when I talked about in those things there, I talked about be current on things, right? So in everything that you do, be current on anything that you offer. Like Alex, he offers traffic, and this is proven traffic that he's using right now, you know, a traffic source that he offers. Find a way to do something like that. Find out, you know, a source that you know that works. You know, there's things like, I don't know if I should mention this, I will. Anyways, there's things like Udemy, okay? There's a lot of Udemy is a place for you to go and buy solo ads, okay? And there's a lot of great people on there. A lot of people don't know about that, you know? Provide them maybe with a couple of solo ad sources or a couple of different
I got it.
video resources of some kind. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be current, man. You want them to think, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about, rather than, oh man, I saw that video 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's not any value, right?
I wanted to say it also depends. It also depends on your target market, right? So yeah, so depending on whatever your subject is for that market that you're targeting, you want to offer them something that is in relation. So like Ferengia, his market is law of attraction. So you would want to offer something in that, you know, field, law of attraction, right? So.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Herman, what are you a doctor of?
A former theology professor.
Okay, so how could you use your knowledge into a theology profession?
So you've written.
Well, have you written anything?
I'm thinking, you know, I was thinking I could write anything.
Right.
You know.
Okay, what about, I don't know if this is in your area, what about quantum physics? Is that in your area?
Yeah, somewhat.
Well, you see, quantum physics.
I'm really into that meditation. I kind of fashion myself kind of off as a metaphysician now.
Okay, now this is good. This is good. So you are, let's say maybe you're specializing or not quite specializing, but in meditation. Okay, so what you could do is you could do a quick little course on how to meditate and, you know, relieve the stress in your life, that sort of thing, right? That's powerful, you know, because look, Justin Ferengia goes through that every day. He meditates every day. Okay, this is a guy who just you know what? You could walk into a room and you could yell Justin, and he won't hear you. He'll just be sitting there like this, right? You know, if you could put a little thing together, look, you know, you could say to people, here's what I'm going to do for you, okay? You're struggling online. A lot of that has to do with where your mindset is. So what I could do is I could offer this to you. Here is, you know, a step-by-step for you to do some self-meditation, you know, prior to starting your day. Or whenever you feel the stress coming on, you do these few steps here, and then that will help relieve what's on the mind and clear your mind. Something like that. I mean, I'm thinking off the cuff here, okay? So if you could offer something that you specialize in or that you are highly knowledgeable in, okay?
Yeah.
Something like that. And see, that kind of stuff, that's very cool, by the way, because that could really work in your favor in this business. Because this is a very high-stress business, believe it or not. And the only way it's high-stress is because most people are desperate. They're coming in here with desperation to make some money. They don't know what they're doing, and then their stress level just jacks. Okay? So having someone like you, like I like listening to Justin. Sometimes when I'm stressed, I'll go and put on Justin because he's just got that kind of calming thing about him, right? And I just go and I'll listen to him or I'll listen to D or something like that, and I bring it down a notch or two, right? So, I don't know. Any thoughts from anybody else?
Thanks. Good stuff. Thank you very much. And
so that's one thing. I mean, each and every one of you guys can think of something like that. You've got to provide some serious value to people, because if you're not providing any value, there's really no reason for them to stay connected with you, right?
Well, my piece now is just getting the skills down. The content, I'm not going to have an issue with. Whether visually, written, or whatever, I'm not going to have any issues with any of those kinds of things. It's just a matter of my implementing the kinds of things that John mentioned on last night as it relates to that particular area, and just doing it over and over and over. I'm not going to have an issue with content.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
I'm not going to have an issue with that. It's just a matter of knowing what to do and how to do it within the confines of the, the conditions and so forth and on of the particular platform. And, it's just a matter of reading that.
That's simple. Like, on Twitter, I do this kind of stuff on Twitter all the time, and I'm getting responses back. And the same thing with Instagram. Whereas, I'll share an inspiration or motivational picture or something, and for the description, I'll have, are you looking for mentoring and coaching? I'll work one-on-one with you until I get you to $5,000 a month. Go to my bio and watch the video. Okay?
Yeah.
You could do something like that, saying, look, are you looking for that thing? Let me coach you and help you with meditation or whatever it is, and this is what I can do for you to help you stay focused on what you need to do. Mm-hmm. You're selling yourself that way. And when you're posting that kind of stuff, I'm telling you, you know who I learned this from? Safe. Safe taught me this. Because of his Instagram. And I started doing the same thing there, but not just on Instagram. I'm doing it on Twitter. I'm doing it on Facebook. I'm doing it and you know what? My engagement has gone up. Because now because this is what people are looking for. They're looking for somebody who's actually going to work with them. Because let's face it, 9 out of 10 people, they're scared to go and join anything because they're worried that they're going to be left in the dust as soon as their money's out of their wallet or purse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So, like with me, I tell people, let me work with you for 14 days and prove my worth to you. And if I can't do that in 14 days, then feel free to leave. Get a refund if you want.
Right.
I put the challenge out to them.
Yeah.
You could do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Put the challenge out. And I'm telling you, you will get so many people taking you on that challenge. That's what's starting to happen to me.
Okay, good. Thanks.
No problem.
Good stuff.
There you go. Ladies, any last comments before we close her down? Good to go? Okay. Well, thank you all very much for hanging out with me today. I think this was a really great session, actually, so I really appreciate that. We covered a lot of really good stuff.
And thank you, Carl. And thank you too, ladies.
So, and thanks for everybody else who's listening in on this hangout here today too. So we'll be back again next Tuesday. So I'll give you guys a break from me for a while, and we'll see you then. So thanks everyone. Have a great day.
Bye, man.